Hello. Welcome, everyone. I hope you are all safe and well. I thought I was going to have an easy weekend and stuff to study, relax, and vlog, news. And then I start getting texts from contacts I have on the ground in California letting me know what's going on in LA. And I wish I could say I was surprised. Honestly, biggest surprise is that it took this long. But it's my understanding that the military base is very active right now, and there is they're potentially getting ready to, unless it's already been said, to send in some Marines to help with the National Guard. Let's see, it was the Marine Corps unit that is on the third display is the 2nd Battalion, 7th Marine, and they're an infantry unit based in 29 Palm, California. So that's something that we're waiting to see. Marines are going to also be sent to California. Um, Now I want to talk about something with everyone really quickly that isn't getting enough news coverage, and hopefully we talk about it, we force the news to cover it. Well, actually, there's a few things, actually. One, I would recommend following the governor of California, Gavin Newsom. Sorry, that's what Trump calls it. Sorry, I've been watching both sides, and it's nauseating to watch both sides, but to have a full picture, you have to see both sides. And so Gavin Newsom, has been giving a lot of updates on what's going on. But if you've been watching, the protests were very peaceful. They may have been very large, which like that's not a problem, but they have been peaceful resistance, peaceful but large resistance. Uh, but militarized forces have come in and are starting to escalate things. We have people who are engaging in nonviolent activities, like journalists being shot with non-lethal rounds and rubber bullets and things when they're obviously not even doing anything aggressive or angry. So it's like there was no violence until the militarized National Guard forces were sent in, and that is escalating things. So the governor has put out a lead for the president to recall the National Guard forces and border forces back out of California because this is not a cooperative, coordinated effort. The governor of California did not give permission, clearance, request help from, or in any way consent to these militarized forces being used. But this is happening anyway. And so that's one thing is like there wasn't a problem until Trump created a problem by sending these forces, right? Just like the tariffs, right? There wasn't a problem until Trump started with these tariffs and created a problem. And he's like, I'm going to solve the problem I created. It's like, you're just not, right? And so the other thing I've seen, because in addition to following different news sources, and I've been doing that for that, I got to make sure I really like it before I start recommending it to people and still testing it. But it's made it a lot easier to search the news. But if I like it, I'll share it once I'm done playing with it. But like, it's not just news. I've been spending a lot of time embedded in social media and reading right-wing Twitter and Truth Social. It's just nauseating. It's something I'm seeing, like Ted Cruz, which sounds like exactly something Ted Cruz would do, was resharing a video that was fact-checked by Twitter's fact checkers or whatever it is, or what's called. That the video that he was like, look how violent they're getting. This is why they need to send a National Guard. The video was fact-checked to get to 2020. So that's 5 years ago. That's not right now. That's not relevant to what's happening right now. And that's this Ted Cruz was one of the first ones I saw that was fact checked and said 2020, and now I keep seeing other MAGA, politicians, figureheads. They're all different MAGA people, let's just say, because some of them are newscasters, some of them are new media, whatever that means. But MAGA people have been resharing a lot of videos from 2020 and saying they're all right now and using that as an excuse to justify sending in notices. It is my understanding as of last night, they were preparing a brief so that they being the state of California governor and his team is preparing a brief so that they could take this to court to try and have the troops removed from California. I haven't seen any updates on that just yet, but I haven't really got to dive into the news in depth just yet. I dove into some things. I had family over this weekend. I was trying to spend some time with family this weekend. And I guess Trump was feeling bad after his breakup and had to do something for himself to make himself feel better. So he had to start acting dictator-y, I guess. But at the same time, also, I can't help but think, certainly they know there's an even bigger protest on the way next weekend on June the 14th for No King's Day, for Trump's birthday parade that he's saying is a 250 military parade. Yes, he started out saying it was for his birthday and he got too much shit for that, so he's not saying that anymore. And so there are going to be really, really massive protests all over the country on Saturday on June 14th. Something else people said would be really funny if a lot of people RSVP a lot of fake names to stop the birthday party and then don't show up. And so they think a lot of people are coming and then it's empty. I think that's funny. That was just something one of my readers suggested. And I'm like, that's a good idea. Register 50 people who aren't really coming. So their numbers are really off and they're predicting a massive crowd and then it's nobody. That'd be amusing. But something that, has been kind of hopefully will work for the advantage of what's going on, the protests that are happening. And, on Saturdays, we've already got these militarized forces, which is why I think they wanted to militarize the forces before the next really big protests so they could be we're the serious and the scary. They want to get intimidating. So they want to put the heat on protesters. But with these King's Day protests not being in one specific city and being all over the country, thousands of different protests, it would be very hard for them to send their resources because they can't send their resources to every single city in the country. They don't have the resources, right? So that's kind of the strategic thing to not having everyone go to one city and one state, having these thousands of protests all over the country because it'll be a lot harder for them to rise the voices to do anything about it if we're all spread out, having all of these different protests. So that's part of it. I'm sure it'll come back to me. So let me check the comments really quick and maybe it'll come back to me while I'm looking at comments. Thanks everyone for jumping on here today. I was debating whether to do this today or tomorrow. Let's just go for it. But I have nothing prepared. This is welcome to the shit show. Seriously a shit show today. So I didn't prepare. I was just let's do it. Because I was not gonna do it today, and then I was I got some time, I'll go. But or anything. Sorry. Me and my wife are gonna be at the one in DeKalb, Illinois. Be careful. Oh, hi. Yes. Thanks for jumping on here. It's good to see you. Yeah. I hope everyone's safe out there. Keep your eyes on you. If you have a camera you can bring, be sure to have cameras in case you need to be able to film anything bad going on. If you see ICE and the police abusing people and brutalizing people, be sure you film it and get a record of it, right? I remember the other point that I wanted to make sure I talk about all the other protests that are happening. The president keeps making these truths because he has this platform called Truth Social instead of tweets on Twitter. The truths on Truth Social, which they're usually lies, which is kind of ironic. He has these truths which are actually full of lies. But his truths, but the lies, his lies, putting out on my social. Keep saying don't wear masks. I can read you what he said about masks. I'm not gonna read you the whole truths about the truths. I'm sorry. But so, like, he said repeatedly, like, let's go back to the list. See, that's a fun thing is when they start dirty deleting things, I have all the records of all of it. So that's good. He could say something about no more masks, just about what's going on. Arrest the people in face masks now. Like, seriously. Arrest the people in face masks now. So is he talking about ICE? Because ICE has been wearing face masks. So arrest the ICE agents in face masks now. Right? That's how I take this. That's how I'm going to choose to interpret this is arrest the people in face masks now. That means ICE. So does that mean we need to start citizens arresting the people in face masks? The ICE people? That was, yeah. There was another one. Oh, he also said that the protesters are paid insurrectionists. And usually their accusations are confession, in my experience. So I think that's funny because they keep saying paid protesters a lot. I'm just like, do y'all have paid people then? Maybe, probably. And so here's this one. Governor Gavin Newsom is what he says. And Mayor Bass should apologize to people of Los Angeles for the absolutely horrible job they've done. And this includes ongoing LA riots. It's calling the riot. Protests. They're like protests. He says they're not protesters. They are troublemakers and insurrectionists. Remember, no masks. So these are violent insurrectionists. Then what were all of those January 6ers then? Because those people actually were being very, very violent. Very, 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 very violent. They were breaking things. They were smashing things. They were assaulting police officers, which Donald Trump claims to love police officers. And he didn't, nobody called in the military for the January 6ers. He pardoned the January 6ers. What's the difference between this group of people and the January 6ers? Well, it seems a little bit like this might be racist. It looks a little bit racist to me. Just my opinion. Let's see, what else did he say? He's talking about Jim McDonald, the police chief here. And then he's saying, like, after he talked to him, he decided, bring in the troops, once the troops were already there at this point, by the way, when he was saying this, so it kind of makes no sense. Or they were already deployed on the way. But there's actually a statement that was put out by LAPD that the protests had been peaceful and this wasn't necessary. So it's just a lot of propaganda. So much propaganda. And so it's like we need to call it out when we see it. We need to not let this propaganda stand. And we need to not let it go unchallenged. And we need to document everything as much as possible. And that's really been the good thing is so many people are out there documenting what's happening on the streets with ICE and the police. And it's like document, like when the police, especially when the police and ICE are doing something violent. But it's always good to document the police and ICE because you never know when they're going to turn violent because they could be violent at any moment. And the other thing, it's like because people have been documenting ICE, especially, but and the police, but specifically right now with ICE, people documenting ICE has led to people noticing that some of them have white nationalist tattoos. And that's important to notice. And then also, like, if you're documenting them, even if they're not necessarily doing anything sketchy at the moment, you never know. Someone might hold their face mask down to take a drink of water or scratch their nose. And so if you're filming, you might just be waiting around and get one of those fuckers when they show their faces. That way we can expose them for who they really are. There's a lot of speculation that these ICE people are actually like contractors and that many of them may even be January 6ers. And so that's speculation. I can't prove that. But it wouldn't surprise me, and I would believe it if there's evidence that comes out to show that that is true. It wouldn't surprise me at all. It would be really fucking ironic, but it wouldn't surprise me. See, I was thinking about like the ice, like document the ice, the ice, photos, videos, their arrival time, their locations, spread the word when they show up. Tell everybody that they are there. Get on the megaphone and like scream it out to the world if you have to. But like let's not let this become acceptable, right? Let's not cooperate with them. Yeah. Let's see, what else was there over the weekend? I'm just trying to think of the weekend updates really quick. Andrew Yang reached out to Elon Musk with a sales pitch to build a third party together. And I don't know if Elon Musk has responded to this offer. Last I heard, he had not. But I don't know if anyone was on Twitter late last week. There was a poll that Elon did asking if they should create a new party because they want it to be a truly centrist party that's like in the middle. And I think 80% of people in the middle. That's what they claim, Elon Musk. And so a lot of people, I don't know what the percentage, it was a good percentage, said, hey, let's create this new party. And so they want to create a new party. So it doesn't matter. Elon still can't be president. Whatever. And the first thing that I thought of, but I was like, yeah, do it, was because, this would essentially split the Republican Party in two. That could potentially neutralize the Republican Party if they create a new party. Like, that's one of the most devious things Elon Musk could do. This is an ugly breakup, and I'm just like handing a popcorn. So that's interesting to see. I don't think he actually will do it. I think it's a threat because he knows that, it's just like a threat. I think he's all teeth, all bark and no bite. And then also already, the reason I say that is, already this morning, Elon Musk or last night, within the last 24 hours, Elon Musk was back to favorably quote tweeting President Donald Trump. So that was last night. So, we have Elon Musk once again, sharing in support of things Trump is doing. That really didn't take long, although it doesn't look like that love is required. But it is where we are in the world today. It's a weird time to be in the world. We've got Homer threatening, he has officially, like, go after the officials in California if you stand in their way. We had a U.S. Marshal that was mistakenly detained by ICE in Arizona on Friday. They were released, but it's still really alarming. But more than anything, every time Trump says that we need to have people not be masked, and we need to take masks off, and no more masks at protests, I'm like, and it's like they have nothing to hide, they shouldn't wear masks. I say right back at ICE. Unmask ICE. ICE should not be wearing a mask. If they are worried they might be a target for something bad they're doing, maybe they should do that bad thing that makes people so angry. Right? Unmask ICE. Like, I'm so serious about that. They shouldn't be wearing masks. They need to have their names. Like, a police officer, name and badge number. You're supposed to be able to ask for their name and badge number anytime. It's in almost any police department's policy that they identify themselves when asked by name and or badge number. Usually, then that's for a reason. Because it is very dangerous if you have people that could potentially be impersonating police officers. Because police officers boss people around, and people obey and comply even when legally they're not required to do so. Because you aren't required to listen to a police officer unless he's giving you a law order. A lot of people don't know what a law constitutes a law of order, so they just obey no matter what. Once I started to learn my rights, I stopped being that kind of person. And so I will bark back. But I have privilege that allows me to do that. But knowing your rights does help to push you around a bit less, because they can't get away with things. Like, too much. But right now, with them not even having to identify themselves, that's dangerous. With Trump sending out an internal memo saying you don't need a warrant, just break into places to get people, like that's illegal as all heck. And also really dangerous, right? There's a reason there's supposed to be due process. There's a reason they're supposed to need to get a warrant to enter someone's home. There's a reason for so many of these things because it protects innocent people. We are supposed to be innocent until proven guilty, not the other way around. Although, unfortunately, I'm in this country a lot of times, if you're a marginalized person, it doesn't work that way. So you could want to just don't have the resources to fight the system that is really one-sided and wide. I hate it. We can do better. Okay, let me look back on my weekend to see what other updates. 31 minutes? Yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah, that's a big one. Really, in the last 24 hours, I think it was last night, the Freedom Flotilla, that was Madeleine, I believe is how you say the name of the ship, that was headed for Gaza with humanitarian aid. Greta Thunberg, I don't know how to actually state Greta's last name, so apologies if anyone wants to correct me. So apparently their ship was boarded and they were detained by Israeli soldiers. And so they had a live feed going and everyone was watching the live feed and you see the soldiers come on and it just needs to the bigger kind. So we're all kind of waiting eagerly to see what happens. I never everyone is okay. It is assumed that because they are high priority, like very high profile people on the vessel, that while anyone else probably would have been dead, most likely they will not be guilty to be back class. So we'll see how that goes. It's my understanding they're going to probably be taking that to distributor to watch some kind of propaganda film before being sent back on their way. I don't think the humanitarian aid is going to be allowed to reach because against the plan. President Donald Trump also increased the travel ban to the United States. It is now 12 countries, mainly for Africa and the Middle East. So that took effect today on Monday. That's another news story. Yeah, I think that. Ask if there's anything actually super important. The news hasn't really picked up yet. They're doing this on nothing's being talked about by the mainstream media as much, or they aren't getting news missing. Oh yeah, this was talked about, but the FBI, Kash Patel, has said that they are going to shift their focus to violent crime. So that's what their main focus is going to be now. And illegal immigration and other threats too. And that was from the Associated Press, is that headline. So, like, something I want to point out, because, like, when they're talking about their focus is going to be on violent crimes and immigration, that means their focus is going to be not on white collar crimes. So, their focus is going to be on crimes that affect people that don't have very many resources versus crimes of the ultra wealthy, unless they happen to be violent crimes. And, the problem with this is they don't see violence against poor people as violence. So, in my opinion, the insurance executives who deny claims for health care for poor people who desperately are seeking care and have no means to get it without, those people are perpetuating violence against poor people. But because they are not holding a knife themselves, and because they are not holding a physical weapon, because their violence is done through systemic policies and procedures, their violence is not considered violence. But I would argue that it is more violent than even the one person in the street who kills one person. And I'm not saying either is good, but I'm just saying how many hundreds of thousands of people are killed by big companies who make bad policies. Take pollution along the Texas coast from all of the different oil refineries and things that are down along the coast, and all the people who have health issues that are related to living down there, and the life expectancy that come with being around some of these areas, which is why generations back, my grandparents moved closer, central inland, because of all the pollution down there, because people were already getting sick when they were starting to have children. Like there's other places, like right now, Elon Musk is, what is it? I think it's Memphis. I'm not sure. There's a town, and Elon Musk has a giant data center, and it is poisoning the residents of this town, which are primarily Black residents, and he is poisoning them with his data center, with the emissions from it. That's violence. And that's violence on a large scale against a whole town. So if we're going after violent crimes, why aren't we going after the violence that Elon Musk is perpetuating on this town by polluting the air so that they are all getting sick? That's violence. It's corporate violence. It's white-collar violence. It's violence. But that's not the kind of violence Pash Patel is going to be going after. And it's a double standard. And I just want to point it out, because like those things are violent. You know, it's not punching someone in the face violent. But I would say, you know, giving people cancer and other diseases and things that are going to shorten their lives is violence. Right? I would say moving into a town and using up all of the water that a town needs for your factory and polluting the town, that's violence. It's a kind of violence we don't talk about, but people are going to die. It's going to hurt generations to come, and that is violence. I'm on a tangent. I'm sorry. It's just frustrating. I needed my weekend off, and I didn't get it. I'm like, these assholes couldn't behave for a weekend. Couldn't behave for a weekend. I took some time on Thursday before it all went out, which is good. But they just mutate themselves. They're so greedy and so violent, and they don't even know they're being violent, you know? Trying to see if there's anything else. Now, anyone in the comments, if there's anything going on in your part of the woods, or anything you think we should be part of the woods, because I'm all in the woods. Anything you think we should be talking about? Anything that isn't being spoken about? Are ice active around you? You know, what's going on? Let me know. I'd love to know in the comments. Let's see. Oh, this was the bad one. Yeah, there was one post that was a day ago, where he chomps in a bunch of words, either radical left protests, instigators, paid troublemakers. They will not be tolerated. Also, from now on, masks will not be tolerated to be worn at protests. What did these people have to hide? Again, thank you. National Guard. Yeah, so that's that. That's the one I was thinking. Like, he can't make that call. You understand? Like, he can't say if we're allowed to wear masks or not. Like, he can't tell us what we are and we're not allowed to wear. Like, that's a First Amendment protected activity. Like, it's the freedom of expression. And what you wear on your person is your expression, right? And also, just think about how people might be immunocompromised, right? And if you're someone who's immunocompromised, or maybe you have someone at home, like an elderly relative or someone who is immunocompromised, maybe, you know, like someone immunocompromised you want to protect, if you want to go out and protest, being in a large group of people without a mask is unsafe, because you might get sick and involve someone you care about voicing, or someone that is immunocompromised, you might be putting yourself at risk. So it's also a very ableist thing to say, we should be masking. Also, probably with how many things are still floating around, like COVID isn't gone. People just aren't talking about it anymore. Like bird flu, these things aren't gone. Measles is everywhere in Texas right now. We probably should all be wearing masks if we are going to protest, quite honestly. Like, we probably all should be masking for, like, keeping us all from making each other sick. Like, that should be probably the thing we're doing. Like, it's a good idea. I wear a mask when I go protest for that reason. And then also because I know, like, Palantir and all of these different face recognition things they want to use to identify people. But then I started going to the protests, even with my face fully covered and in these outfits when I thought I was totally hiding my identity. The cops would all come up and be like, "We know who you are. We want to make sure you know that we know who you are." I think they had a meeting about me. Stuff noise. Okay, it was the air conditioner. I just wanted to make sure it wasn't breaking because it just got loud all of a sudden. And it surprised me. That's really how my life has been lately. Like, everything has been breaking and falling apart all at once. You know how that goes? Like, everything just is breaking. It kind of sounds a little funny, but hopefully it's okay. Good vibes to the AC, please. Please send it good weather. It is going to work the entire summer. It will be okay. Please. It will work. Oh my goodness. Texas summers are triple digits. I need that big to learn. That's why it's this background noise. It's hard to hear me. I apologize because the AC is not negotiable today because it's already in the 90s. It's 92 outside right now. Yeah, but AC is completely non-negotiable. It's hot in here already. The AC on. Hi, buddy. Oh, I got a sweet dog under my lap. It's over here there. Oh, hi. He loves us. Dusty loves warm hugs. He's home. Hi, buddy. He just came to some rubbing his head on my legs. On this wretched ear here. He's a sweet papa. 90 pounds of love. Oh, nobody can see you down there, buddy. And I'm not going to put the camera down there because, well, that would just look awkward. Oh, look, there's a face. There's a nose. He's just like laying his big head in my lap. Hey, buddy, come here. Come here, fella. Come here. Where the hell? He doesn't want to go up there. He's too gentleness. Oh, he's gonna wrap himself around my table. He may not be iPad yet. He may just like pull all my wires. It'll be exciting. He's bad at this. Life with dogs. They do dog things. What's going on? So much going on. And usually in Pride Month, the fact that it's Pride Month is all that I think about. And like, I know it's Pride Month all year and I look forward to Pride Month. And right now, this year, it's been really different. Like, the whole vibe about Pride Month is so different for me. Like, every now and then I'll like realize, oh, it's June. Oh, it's Pride Month. That's right. Like, I normally would like be getting out like this tub I have that has all of my rainbow shit in it. Like, I have a rainbow tutu, I have rainbow like hair clips, I have a bow tie, got like wigs, I've got like arm bands, I've got freaking knee-high, thigh-high rainbow socks that make them look like toucan Sam. They're awesome. Like, I usually look like a rainbow threw up on me in Pride Month. And with everything going on right now, being that we are here in Texas, I just haven't felt it this year. You know, like, I'm here, I'm online, I've made some posts, I've said some things about it being Pride Month, but it just isn't. Oh my goodness. Hang on, I gotta mute what I get out. That was really good. Thank you. I know you're excited about it. Whatever it is. Is it a cat or is it a dog? Okay. Well, you just don't yell about it, okay? Thank you. They are really excited. You know, dogs. They gotta do dog things at times, and that is barking. If I had a like client right now, because I usually have a lot of clients in Pride Month, and this month I have none. hours. I would have all the blinds closed so they can't see out, but we're having a casual talk today. So it's casual hangout. I much the blinds open for the dogs. Also gives me a little more light in here because I have like 3 of these things. I've got these. Uh, but if I have the windows open, I only need one. I don't need like a bunch of them. So this is my cheap little thingy and I love it so much. It's the best. Like, you don't need the fanciest gear. I have a cheap $150 tablet and I have this ring light and it's great. It works. Like, that's all you need. Like, definitely the entire life of this blog. Until recently, I got a nice laptop last year. Or maybe earlier this year. I don't know when. I just finally got a nice laptop. But up until then, like, the whole, 8 years I've had this blog, I have been doing it on the most basic entry-level equipment on the, meanest budget ever. And it's been great. Like, you don't need all the fancy equipment people say you need to do the things. Like, you don't. You just don't. And honestly, the more complicated the setup, the least likely I am to do the things. That's why I started doing lives every single week. When I struggled doing them even once a month before, it was I can do them every single week now because I can just I know it's only an hour and I'll do it whenever I feel up to it. And I don't schedule it. There's not it's at this time on this day every week or every month. No, it's it's when I feel like I'm in the right headspace to do the thing and I do the thing. And it's today I wasn't sure if I'd feel up to it. And so I was thinking I was going to do it tomorrow. And then I came home after hanging out with my grandma and I was I'm feeling it. I'm going to do the live. Let's do the thing. And so I went live. And so because there's no pressure, there's no planning, there's not all that executive functioning. I've got a lot of demand avoidant tendencies. And so when I had all of those other things, I had to make a flyer, I had to make a post, it had to be at this certain time. The demands of that made it feel like the whole thing was a demand. And now it's it's on me. It's I may show up. And if I really don't want to, I give myself permission to dip out for a week. If I'm ever not up to it, I might not show up for a week. Don't worry about me. It's me giving myself permission to say there's too much on my week this week. Let me do something else. But that lets me do it. It feels for me, when things feel like a demand, that becomes an obstacle for me. And so I found a way to do more lives than I've ever done before by not making it feel like a demand anymore. Which is working with my neurodivergent mind instead of against it, which is why knowing about your own brain and how it works, just neurodiversity as a whole, and the fact that all of our brains work differently is so important and critical and helpful because it just gives us just this different reference point, right? When I thought my brain had to be like everyone else's brains, and I thought I had to I was just copying the people around me, right? I didn't know any better. I thought we all had the same brains. I thought we all had the same, aptitudes, skills, abilities. Anytime I had a weakness that other people, were really good at, I just assumed it was because I hadn't practiced enough. And so it was always my own fault when I was bad at something. It's I just haven't practiced enough. It's my fault. I suck. I haven't practiced enough. And then I learned, people's brains are, different person to person. I hear a lot of background noise. I assume a fan or AC. Glad to see you live online. Yeah, it's the AC. Like I was saying a little bit ago, it is 95 outside right now, and I live in a mobile home, travel trailer kind of thing right now, and it's hot. I'm sweating, and the AC's on. So if it was on, and I don't know, if I had my fan on, I'd be really comfy, but if I had the fan on and the AC, you really wouldn't be able to hear me. So I thank you for your patience. That's one reason I've tried to do these earlier in the morning so I can do it before I have to turn on the AC in the morning. But today I'm just hanging out with my mom and my grandma, and so I did some family time this morning instead of going live. 70 here in Denver. You lucky creature, you. I'm jealous. Not jealous. That's the wrong word. So I'm actually happy for you that you're in a cooler temperature than this. I mean, what's the word where you're I wish I was there too, but I'm happy for you? Because I don't think that's jealousy. I think it's I don't know. I think there's another word because I think jealousy, you're unhappy for the other person. You just to it, right? Right? Like, I just wish I was somewhere cooler. And Colorado, if anyone knows, Colorado is kind of one of my favorite places in the world I've ever been to ever. I love Colorado. Front Range is not really my happy place. I like being up in the mountains. I don't mind Denver though. If I have to be in a city, like a bigger city, Denver's probably one of my favorite bigger cities I've ever been to. And I enjoyed walking around Denver when I went and did some conferences there. I used to tour and speak at conferences. It was a thing I did regularly. And so Denver is one of the last places I visited, and it was really nice walking around Denver. And I don't usually feel very safe walking around in cities. And Denver felt really safe and really good. And there was like trans and queer pride stuff everywhere. And it wasn't even June or anything, which is really neat. Because in Texas, most of the time that stuff only pops up in June. And right now, there's like a couple of stores here and there that have put pride stuff up. There's like one general store at a small town that I go see. And I was like, wow, I'm really surprised they put a pride display in their window being in a small town in Texas. I was like, that's brave. I appreciate it. Damn, that's brave. I think there's like another one in another small town that has like a pride display. I've seen like they have this pride flag, and I like display the pride flag. But it's like every now and then you see something where it used to be like, at least in Boston, because Boston's like a big city and around like Georgetown and some of the like bigger towns, you would see stuff like displays in stores or sections in stores. No, like not this year. Very few, but it's kind of sad to see. Like, it's funny because I remember I used to be really annoyed and frustrated by rainbow capitalism. And I still am annoyed and frustrated by rainbow capitalism because the reason I'm annoyed and frustrated by rainbow capitalism is exactly why we are where we are now. And what has always annoyed me about rainbow capitalism is how it felt like they were waving their flags in a performative way so that they can have queer dollars and to get queer people to spend with them. And it did work, right? Like, look at Target, right? Target. Look at Target, right? Target marketed itself really heavily to the queer community for a lot of years until MAGA latched on and targeted Target. And they started pulling their pride stuff out of the stores, right? And we all the queer community loved Target before that, right? And so they started pulling pride stuff. They started discontinuing work with queer artists. They didn't support any of the queer artists when the controversies happened. So the queer community had already had it with Target before they officially cut ties with DEIA, diversity, equity, inclusion, and accessibility, because that's what we get from the DEIA. And so Target, when they officially were like, we're cutting ties with our DEIA initiatives, like other minority groups that hadn't been wronged by Target, like the queer community had already been wronged, started to pay attention and be like, oh, screw you, Target. And so it's just not worked very well for Target. Like, every time I look at Target sales and numbers, they're going down and they're going down and they're going down. And Target is in the gutter. And it's also fun. The other one I love watching is Costco. Costco is just, since they have said we're going to pay our people a living wage and we are going to stand by our DEIA initiatives, Costco has just been thriving. Like, Target's empty, Target's crickets, which is funny to see. And then Costco is just like, I can't even go to Costco normally because Costco's too big. It's so overwhelming for me as an autistic person. Like, whenever I can afford to order my groceries, I do grocery delivery. It has changed my life. That is like something I do to accommodate myself. Is I'll do a grocery delivery, and if you do it in advance, it can cost like $7 for a delivery if I can handle that. If I schedule my thing in advance, it's $14 if I don't plan it in advance. ADHD, sometimes that does happen, and it's like, I got a truck now, I need to go. For a while, I didn't even have a vehicle, so those grocery delivery can be like really life changing for some people. But like, the grocery store has just always been like one of my biggest enemies, and so that's just amazing. So Costco You know, I love the idea of going to Costco, like, to support them for doing what's right. It's Costco. So I'm like, that's a lot. It's just so big. It's so much on one speech. And sensory overload is Costco. But I love cheering them on. Cheering Costco on as their sales and stock go up, and laughing my ass off at Target as their sales continue to fall and their stock continues to fall, and they continue to talk about how they may have made the wrong decision when their earnings falls with their stakeholders. I'm living for it because they were saying, go woke, go broke is what MAGA was saying, but what we've actually seen in reality, proof being Target and Costco, that it is go woke or go broke. And I love it. I love watching them eat their words. I'm still so mad at Target. They had turned so quickly when they should have known their customer base. Yeah, it really didn't go well for them because just think right now, Target hadn't ditched DEIA because so many people are boycotting Walmart and Amazon right now. If they hadn't done that, they would be making bank right now if they were the one that wasn't getting boycotted. Like, that one decision ruined. And, like, I don't know, as a queer person, I'm never going to shop at Target again. Never. It doesn't matter if they change things because I'm always going to remember how manipulative they were and how they were obviously only trying to do whatever was going to help them make the most money. And they don't care about actual queer people. Yeah, MAGA never shopped at Target anyway. Yeah, exactly. They only went over there because they heard this rumor there was pride stuff in there and they wanted to make videos to, like, expose it, to create outrage. Because MAGA just lives on outrage. That's just what they do. I didn't bring a drink to this live. I've seen my water bottle over there. I'm wondering if there's in it. It's like, do I survive 6 minutes? You want to run and grab the water bottle? How to run? You might see my butt. Can I wait? Let Crab walk out of here. Oh, good. There is a drink in here. I'm gonna follow it this way. Wait. I just don't want to, like, flash my butt in the screen. It's awkward, right? I am an earthquake. Here I am. Watch me like a hurricane. You want to see my rocks? Do you see my favorite rocks? These are my favorite rocks. They make me happy. I love rocks. This is Sadie. Sadie, can I show them to you? Can I show you to them? You give me permission? Okay. This is Sadie. Sadie's my people friend. I love her. It is a sweet dog. You know, pit bulls are very vicious. This dog will lick you to death. Look at this vicious pit bull attack. You see this pit bull attack happening right here? This is really dangerous. So dangerous. Just all this slobber. You might dissolve because they will lick you so much until there's nothing left. Like, that's the danger of having a pit bull. They are so dangerous. This licking is just nonstop. Right, Sadie? Do you do kisses? I love you so much. Thank you for coming to say hi in the video. Vicious dog. Vicious beast. Not vicious at all. This dog is so sweet. She's the sweetest kid. Sadie's kind of admirable, honestly. David found Sadie one day, 8 years ago or more. Only 9 years ago. Sadie's an old lady. You're an old lady. You're an old lady. Yeah, you are. Yeah, my old lady. Sadie, my old lady. So we're talking about Justina being free. I'm gonna leave my record here. Oh, so yeah, David found Sadie in the road, let Sadie in the truck. David was like, pit bull. This is like a 12-week-old puppy, but I've heard a lot of things about pit bulls being scary. But of course, you can see, not scary at all. Real chill. And so we took her to the vet to scan to see if she had a microchip. And we found out that no microchip, only every kind of worm you could think of, plus parvovirus. And it was like a little 12-week-old puppy, so cute, So the vet was like, well, bad news is she has parvo. She's already really sick and she's probably going to die. But she might live, and you can do this like thing where they put a water bubble in her neck, and we'll give her some medicine and we'll send her home. It was like a Friday or something. And they're like, and we'll know by Monday if she's going to live. And it's like, okay, well, $500, but they don't have a lot of money. $500 is like kind of a lot, but it's like, or kill a puppy. And they're like, it's this, or you have to put her to sleep because she's contagious. And it's like, well, I can't kill a puppy. Obviously, I can't put this puppy to sleep because it's not my puppy. It's like, I can't kill a puppy. And she lived. She lived, like, despite everything. She's still here. She's alive. So, she's a little miracle. Although now, I think because she had that water bubble in her neck, her microchip's like over here in her arm. It like migrated down, like into her arm. It was kind of weird. I don't know if that's why or not, but that's just what I assume. Because she had this big bubble thing back here and it popped out. I think we did have that microchip, once she's officially a dowdy. But we assumed she was probably some kind of like puppyville puppy that got dumped because she had parvo or this was a big parvo. Good. The bestest of the bestests. Okay, I need to start wrapping it up. Because like I said, I have family here. But I wanted to pop on because I feel like with everything happening in California right now, had to pop on. Like, to not show up this week, just seeing me irresponsible and anything going on. So I wanted to pop on and talk about that because there is a lot of propaganda. And it just really seems like, as far as I've seen, there wasn't any violence or anything happening until Trump started fanning flames and creating problems. Like the protests were peaceful when they decided to send troops in. And then what I've seen in the videos is cops and ICE agents and these armed people. We might not be clear what department they're with, assaulting people, doing anything particularly violent, like the journalist who was hospitalized for having a non-lethal round shot in his leg and he was walking across the street to take a photo. So, if they're taking out journalists and people who are documenting things, that should be a red flag. Because, how Trump says, oh, they shouldn't wear masks if they have nothing to hide. Well, if you have nothing to hide and you're not doing wrong, you want people documenting what's happening. You want journalists, you want media around to document because you're not doing anything wrong. You see, you want video, you want proof that good is being done. But you're operating in dishonesty and you're doing very bad things that are shameful that you don't want seen around the world, or you don't want the truth out, then yeah, it's very natural you're going to go after the media, right? And so we've seen that overseas when journalists have been targeted in war zones, which is a war crime. Like, they wear the journalist vest because you're not supposed to shoot journalists. They wear the journalist vest for a reason. It's like medic, journalist, like these are people you don't shoot. So the fact that they are going after journalists in itself should be really telling. And there have been multiple journalists I've seen that there were journalists who have been covering what's happening in California. So that's really telling. I was checking my phone to see I have people on the ground in California who have been giving me updates. So just updates. No, different state. I have people in different states. That's not California. So yeah, I'm monitoring things. I've got ears. Thank you. You're one of my ears. If you're listening and you're one of my ears who is helping me keep track of things all over the state, if you're in one of the other states on the ground, thank you for helping, because that is really making this so much easier to keep track of everything, is the fact that my helpers, my ears, you're all out there sending me links to news stories, making sure I'm seeing things, letting me know what's going on in the ground where you are, reporting on where ice is, reporting on what's happening. Like, we, the people, have to be the truth tellers right now, because we cannot depend on others to tell the truth for us, because a lot of the big media interests have too much to lose. And so they're not willing to put everything on the line and stand up to Trump to tell the truth about what's going on in too many instances. Look at what happened to 60 Minutes. You've had some news executives step down at different news agencies already because they're not being allowed to create news freely. So like we are already seeing news back down. So we need the truth tellers right now.
Look at my feet. Don't like my feet. I'm not doing that.
Ew. So that's really important. Anyway, I'm going to hang up now. So this video gets much longer than an hour. It can take forever to process. Before I forget, there's 8 more days. I think it's the 17th where you can get this shirt. This is it's my latest shirt. It's a tagline for the blog, Refusing Assimilation into Neurotypical Society, NeuroDivergent Rebel. It's a little big on me. I'm a small human, and this is a unisex small shirt. I've got different weights and colors and textures, softnesses and cuts. Some of the t-shirts, v-necks, some sweaters. I'm gonna get some goose stuff, hopefully in the future. I might have some stickers coming. Stay tuned for that. So I'm trying to work that out. I had a problem trying to figure out how to make it work. But there's 8 more days in this first drop of this shirt. I'll probably do another drop or 2 of it. As long as my readers say they want it and I didn't get it yet, I'm willing to like keep it going. Like, I don't need it to be scarce. I want people to be able to get it if they want it. It just doesn't make sense to like leave it up like all the time, because I want to like constantly be doing like a new design like each season. So that's kind of like this goal I've set myself with. Like with these, it's like the same tagline, but the design will change like once a quarter. I'll come out with a new one. And so I think what I'll do is I'll have this be available for like a quarter. So like there'll be like probably like different, they call it a batch. And so it's like each batch is for like 2 weeks, do the whole batch, but then they all ship. And then it's like 2 weeks, you do the whole batch, and then they all ship. So like I'll probably do a few more batches. But there's a link to this on my Substack if you want to find it. It's like on fire. If you search for NeuroDivergent Rebel, you'll find it pretty quickly. So that's something I've kind of been doing because I don't have any consulting clients right now. I have zero. Consulting clients that are actively signed. I have some proposals out there, but this is the first time since I have started my consulting business on my own 5 years ago that I don't have any consulting clients, which is really weird to see. And somehow I am still optimistic that things will be okay. My community is really rallying behind me. I'm really grateful to all of you. I had another shirt that I did a shirt sale on in April and May. That was really amazing. Like that was so helpful. Like all you who supported that shirt sale, like thank you so much. I've been selling my one-to-ones, which I need to post those again. Where like I sell a 1-hour one-to-one session with me. Anything you want to talk about, we can look at a project, brainstorm, we can info dump, we could shoot the shit, just chat casually out there. It's your time. Those are like an hour for $75. And so when I do those are going to be available again. I just took a little bit of time off from those, and so I'll put those out again soon. Sharing my content, subscribing on Substack is also really helpful. All of this gives me hope and makes me feel like even though I have no consulting clients right now, somehow everything's gonna be all right. No, I'm not gonna sing to you. I promise. I won't torture you with my own scene. But all that to say is like I want you all to know I will be okay. I will be okay. The community because of you, like, maybe I know I will be okay. Don't worry about us too much. We're like slowly fixing our truck. Like, that's that thing. We got a vehicle. We got a 24-year-old truck. Like, that's exciting to us. It's like we're slowly fixing it up, getting it ready to go. We're living in a travel trailer. We got some repairs we need to do to it. Eventually, we'll see. We'll get ourselves back on the road again. And like for a while, I was thinking, I don't think it's ever going to happen. Is it possible? We're going to be stuck here forever. And I'm actually starting to have hope it's a reality. Like, it's like baby steps. Like, but every month we get a little bit closer and we get like something else fixed on the truck, or, it's just like baby steps. You just have to like be patient sometimes. Like, don't want to be, it's not where we are yet. But I can see like I'm moving in the right direction, right? Like, that's how life is. Life isn't always like so easy. It's not always what you want it to be, but I'm trying really hard, especially over the past like found it's grown 2 years. Like, being in Texas, what I can learn from this time, like what lessons I can take from it. And so it's kind of been a really transformative time of my life. It's not the situation of it's not what I would have chosen, right? It's not what I would have chosen for myself, but I think it's where I need to be right now. In that makes sense. Yeah. Thank you all so much for jumping in. Hi. Oh, love the tank creek divine. Love you. I was thinking about you this morning, actually. I hope you're doing all right. I want to blast your name on here just in case. I try not to say people's names on this Substack. Just, when it reposts, like, it can't see who's here. I almost busted your name out, though. I was like, thank you all for joining. It's getting hot. I need a fan. And it's too loud. Like you said, you can already hear the AC. It's making a lot of background noise. So I'm going to let it go now until I can re-upload the replay. I've gotten confident enough with these. I will leave the replay up for free and paid subscribers to watch. It'll probably be about an hour before I can post it. I'm going to go eat and see what my grandma's up to. So talk to you soon. Be safe, all. See you next week. Bye.